From Orange County we hail from. Training dogs sniff narcotics ought to always come. Training dogs with peanut allergies ought to find a bomb. FalcoK9Academy.com. We cover it all. So come big dog and small. Here with us you'll have a ball. FalcoK9Academy.com. Human training for your dog.
Pat your chest, pat your chest. Oh. Hey gang, this is Andy. We're at Falco Canine Academy. I haven't watched that in so long. As you can tell, many of those people that are in the shot are trainers that used to work for me and have, gone on to do other stuff. I saw we had more viewers when I started that song, and I'm not sure why I have my other camera showing up over here on the corner. I'm using another platform. Oh, I see. So we're going to be talking about one of the other frequently asked questions. This is going to be the third in the series of videos in regard to frequently asked questions to Falco Canine Academy, and one of those is always, quite often, should I take my dog to a dog park? And the answer is mostly no. But I know, wait, don't everybody get all excited, because there can be a time, as you know, we have or as you may or may not know, we have a product called Dog Park Etiquette. And so, yes, if you understand the importance of that time with your dog at the dog park is focused on your relationship with the dog, and I'll explain more about that later. But just to talk about why I say no in the beginning is because many people come to us at a time when their dog is not behaving well, and one of the things that can occur at a dog park is the dog can really learn to ignore you, number one. The dog can get into a dog fight and can have a really bad experience. It can harm the relationship between your dog in the sense that your dog needs your protection and needs you to be there as a leader always, and when you're not, again, I think there's many different things that can come up in regard to what happens at a dog park, what potentially can happen at a dog park, and sometimes that's not very good stuff. Now, you can go to a dog park 10, 15, 20 times and nothing bad happened, and you'd be saying, well, Andy, I've gone a lot, and nothing bad happens. And then, and then something happens, and now it sets you back in a lot of ways. So let me just show you, I want to show you a video here, and it's not to scare you if you're thinking about going to a dog park, but it's going to be first an example of what can happen, and then we're going to talk about, as it's happening, some of the dynamics between what happens at the dog fight and why it's even more problematic when you have a dog fight at a dog park. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here and share a video on YouTube, and it's the best example that I was able to find. Oh, why is the one not showing up that I want to show up? Hold on, that's my desktop. There we go. So I think you can see that now. Yeah, you should be able to. Oop. All right, hold on. I got to figure out how to do this. I'm going to choose. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Can you steer? If somebody could comment if you can hear me or not. Hold on. And we're supposed to go into a picture-in-picture mode. Don't leave me yet. I can see somebody dropped off. But don't leave me yet as I'm trying to find the option. All right. Well, let me show you the video. I am not sure you're going to be able to hear me because it should take me into a picture-in-picture here. Why it's doing that, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to show you the video and let you watch the video. Then I'm going to come back just in the case that you can't hear me while the video is playing. Because when I tested this before, I came up in a little picture-in-picture and you were able to see the video at the same time. So let me run the video. It's very short. It's only 23 seconds long. But I'll play it more than once so that you can see it. And then I'll talk about what it is you saw in the video. and then we'll play it again. That way you can watch the dynamics. All right? So here we go.
This is like a ball.
All right. In the 23 seconds there was a lot that happened. There's a lot of dog behavior things that come up. There's a lot of human behavior things that come up. And there is the thing that really causes a concern when a dog fight breaks out at a dog park. Because, again, you can go 5, 10, 15 times to the dog park and just the right people are there with the right dogs and nothing has happened. And you're saying, Andy, I go to dog parks all the time, right? Like I said before, not a big deal. However, when one breaks out, these are the things that come up. And so I'm not seeing any comments. I should be able to see comments that would come up here. If anybody has comments about the video, feel free to put them in. Wow, they changed their... Sorry, they changed the dashboard on this particular. I'm using Ecamm right now as another Facebook. I have about 4 different ones I'm using and experimenting with to see which ones are best. And I see now I must have scared people off with that video, and 2 people dropped off. But the dynamics behind a dog fight in a dog park are this: that you are going to a place and you have people like this guy who is watching his dog. You can see in the body language right away that this is not good. Right? I'm looking at the picture frame here, the very first part of the video that we see, and I'm going to show you that right now, just really quick. So you see that, right? Right there, you can already see in the way the dog's ears are, in their stature with them standing upright, and the tail position, which is called flagging. Their tail is in up position. Here we go. Let's go back one more time. You see that up position. Both dogs have their tails up. Those are all signs that something bad is about to happen. Now, in dog park etiquette, this is where you intervene right away and say, hey, stop thinking what you're thinking. And this is a very valuable moment where you as the human beings can tell your dog and dogs, that I know what both of you are thinking, and you need to stop thinking that right now. Again, I always go back to how we talk to kids, right? If you can get into your kid's head and stop things before it happens, and get them when the height of the anxiety or fear or fight mode, even in your kids, is there, you have a better chance of being able to break through and be able to talk them into a place where they calm down, right? Same thing with the dogs. When you get into their mind, you can see that it's happening. You go, hey, no, and show your authority very strongly. If you catch it in time, it won't add to the anxiety the dog's already feeling, and you'll be able to stop what is about to happen, right? So you can see what's about to happen. And this happens in so many different ways in dog obedience. And this is what we talk about at Falco Canine Academy in our group training and in our private training, is that you have to read your dog's mind. And it is not hard. Dogs speak through their body language so clearly. And once you know your dog, you are very much able, I think that's the way I'm trying to say it, very much able to get in there and get into your dog's head and stop them from what it is they're thinking. By the time you've reacted and they're already acting, and you're too late. And now you're coming from a place of disadvantage, because now the dogs are in action, and now their heightened senses in regard to protection, fear, and all those other things are so high that your voice, your actions are not even a factor, right? They completely ignore you. And then the fight breaks out. So in most cases, when dogs fight, unless they're pit bulls or chows or even sometimes Dalmatian types of dogs and some other dogs, just a couple other breeds, in most cases, a dog fight is just simply sounds and noise and action and teeth showing and posturing, all that kind of stuff. And quite often, not always, quite often, none of the dogs get injured, and it's a whole bunch of shenanigans, right? It's just dogs trying to figure out who they're going to get to go on their back and who's going to be standing on top of the other dog. So, however, in a dog park situation, what happens is it draws the attention of all the other dogs. Will stop what they're doing, regardless of breed, regardless of sex, regardless of positioning on the totem pole. Will come in and on some level join in on the fight. and now you have what is a fight between two dogs becomes a group fight. And as soon as one of the dogs begins to lose, the other dogs will then now pounce on that loser, because that's just the way life is in a dog pack. That the loser, the weak dog, gets taken out by the rest of the dogs. Now, again, in domesticated dogs, there is a level of that you will see, and it can be very dangerous, not only for you, but not only for the dogs, but also for you. But as soon as the dog gives up and the dog that started the fight, or the dominant dog, begins to walk away, sometimes you'll see the fight break up and everybody go back to everybody. All the dogs will go back to what they were doing before, kind of. But there is a point of no return where it then turns into a very primal dog pack situation where they dispose of or completely dominate a dog and can very much injure that dog. So the next thing that happens is that, of course, humans want to get involved, right? They want to get in there and save their dogs. And the danger is not only from the two dogs that are fighting, but it is from the dogs that are coming in. The dogs that are coming in, and if there's another dog at the level of these two dogs or even higher, that dog is going to come and take you out because they perceive you part of that fight. And you're going to get bit, and it's going to hurt very badly. And so now comes the danger, right? And so there is, on some levels, if we're in a group obedience situation, dog fight breaks out, everybody has dogs on leash. Here's, speaking of pets. Hey, all right, buddy. Hey, can you go back over and watch the movie, and I'll be there in a minute? Thanks, buddy. I forgot what I was saying. Dogs, group obedience, all dogs are on leash. I will sometimes let the two dogs just work it out until somebody becomes dominant and subordinate, and then we break it up, because you can get in there too soon. And really, as long as you can see that they're really not trying to kill each other, they're just really trying to find their position, it is way safer for everybody if you stay out of it until they've worked that out. Now, I won't be there at your dog fight, but you're going to have to really measure whether it's safe to get in. A cut ear or a scrape on their face or a couple bite marks, that kind of stuff, really is not that big of a deal between two dogs. But what can happen once you get in there is then it heightens the fight and the anxiety between the dogs, and the fear biting begins, and now you're going to get bit, and your skin is a lot more sensitive than dogs. Dogs can take a bite. Your hands, and especially as you get older, is not as strong as a dog, and not as tough. And so you really got to be careful when you're stepping in there, because you're going to get hurt very badly, and you're going to end up going to the emergency room as opposed to just simply taking care of a couple dog wounds and getting them out of there. So again, this is purely my advice to you, is that to measure whether this is just a dominance and positioning type of argument as opposed to a full-blown fight where dogs are now really seriously going to get hurt, and then you have to take action in some way or another. So this isn't a how to break up a fight discussion. This is what I think about dog parks. All right. So at the beginning, a moment was lost where you can really get in there and teach your dog the manners of a dog park and dog park etiquette, and then it's quickly lost. Then you see all the other dogs coming in, and now you see the people step in, and they're trying to get between all the other dogs, and this is a very dangerous time, and fortunately, in this situation, nobody got hurt. So now watch this again and watch all the dynamics and watch all the things that are happening. All right? Just 1 second. Let me refresh this and get it back to where it was. I will share my screen, and here we go.
I just listened to Black Island. Oh, what ball.
Sorry, I couldn't find the right button to click. Another one's going to set off here. Hold on 1 second. Another video is going to start going. Okay, so you see the people come in, you see the dog being pulled off, and you see as soon as that dog gets pulled off, the other dog now has the advantage. That's another dangerous point. As that dog is being pulled away by the human, you see the dog that started the fight, the one that first took the first leap, is now grabbing the dog by the legs. Again, now it's near the femoral artery, near the dog's leg, and that could be very dangerous. And you just see all of these things begin to happen. It's just, I'm making you aware of what all the dynamics are. Ideally, the other person should have had a hold of their dog dog also, and then when you pull them apart, then not as much of a situation or danger point with that other dog. Yes, son?
Where my echo seed?
I'm not sure yet, but I'll be done in a minute and I'll help you find it, okay? And so having the cooperation of the other human being, getting that collar and looking and then seeing it, again, you probably don't even know this other person, right? And so it becomes difficult. And then the last thing, you see the other dog come in and now begin humping the other dog. Again, all of these dynamics within the thing that's showing dominance in different ways. Growling, snarling, humping, and all the stuff that's happening. All right, so I'm going to show the video one more time, and you may not have seen that part, but I just this is very interesting. I don't like that this happened, but I love it got on video so you can watch all the things that are happening. I'm going to set this back and go back to that video. Another fight at a dog park was starting. Move this back. So one more time. So you got the moment at the beginning where you see the dogs kind of posturing, and you can see it. All right, I want you to recognize first what it is you see there with the dog's positioning and their ears and their tail. I'll actually stop it and keep it stopped there for a moment, and you can see in the sense that they're pointing at each other, right, as opposed to teeing off. Right, teeing off then will allow for a little bit of whatever. You'll see a dog begin to move his position a little bit lower and drop his head, that kind of stuff. You have two dogs. Both of them have their heads up. Both are trying to stand up as tall as they can. Both have their tails flagging. This is a sign that at any moment a fight could break out, and that's when you want to step in and take care of it. And then the fight happens, and you see all the other dogs come in. You see the humans trying to weave their way through. You see the one human grab their dog, which is kind of almost the most dangerous thing you could do to your dog, is now bring their muzzle up a little bit and then expose their belly where that other dog could come in there. It's just one of those things. You'd rather see the other person also grab their dog and pull them apart. Understanding dogs are still coming in. It's not over yet. Thankfully, not another really strong dominant dog didn't come in and now take both you and your dog out. Again, this is just in the sense that what can happen at a dog park. All right, here we go one more time. So there you see that posturing, and now the fight.
This is what I found. Oh, a ball.
Okay, I'm sorry. It was actually the yellow dog with the harness got grabbed. That was the closest thing to grab, and Oh, sorry, I gotta stop the other video. And so you see all that happening. Hopefully at that time, just to tell you what that video is called. If you wanted to watch it yourself, it's actually a pretty good one. It's called Raw. Yellow Lab, Blue Heeler, Mix Fights, Black Lab at Omaha Dog Park is the name of that one. And I should be able to put it in a... Hey, Trina. Thanks for joining us. I got a thumbs up there. Thank you. There used to be a spot where I could put... Well, I guess I can't do that here now on this particular thing. So later on, I'll put the link. I'll also put the link for Dog Park Etiquette so that you can get in there and see what that program is, that training is all about, and help you with it. So the moment lost is at the very beginning, and that's what Dog Park Etiquette teaches, these moments and how to prepare. You actually prepare for the dog park before you get to the dog park. You prepare for the dog park as you're walking towards the dog park, and you're continuing to monitor your dog at the dog park just as you would if you took your child to a playground. You would never just take your kid, if he's like 4, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, at a playground and leave them and then walk away. And you shouldn't, and go to your Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and you can hear kind of the arguments breaking out, that kind of stuff, and just kind of ignore it, right? Because it escalates, right? With the children, it can escalate to a point where one's kicking the other, or punching them in the face, or spitting on them, or whatever that is. But it's your fault that you allowed that to happen. You didn't go to the dog park to be on your Facebook. You really didn't. Now, I know many people do, right? You didn't go to the dog park so that you can necessarily pick up on your next potential boyfriend or girlfriend, although many people do, right? That is really not the purpose of the dog park. The dog park is to have an environment where your dog can socialize with other dogs, under a controlled situation where the humans are there and participating and involved. The lady that goes in there, although she's trying to take action, and I understand how she's doing that. She doesn't drop the bags, she continues to hold on to the bags that are in her hand, right? You need to drop everything. Right? That's why you don't want your phone in your hand, on Facebook, that kind of stuff, because you're going to try to do things. People don't understand this concept. As police officers, we were trained not to have anything ever in our gun hand. The problem is because we have to consciously think that we have to drop that thing out of our hand and then reach for our gun, which then is too late. You're dead. Right? And so you have to be prepared and have your hands free. You have to be focused on what's happening to the dogs. You have to step in and get into your dog's mind, call your dog back to you when it's appropriate. That sometimes you have to be careful about it because you don't want your dog turning his back on a dominant dog necessarily. But this would have been a perfect time to step in the middle, not after the fight had broken out, right? And use that opportunity at the dog park to build a relationship between you and your dog. Right? The more you allow your dog to get into these fights and to learn to ignore you in a dog park is not going to build a relationship. Same thing with children. If you take your children to a park and you say, "Here, Johnny," and they don't listen to you, you don't just go, "Oh, well, they're at a park and I don't expect them to listen." No. Hey, Johnny, get your butt over here now. And sit your butt here. You're going to stay here. You learn to listen to me because it is my responsibility that I pay attention to what you're doing and that your responsibility is to listen to what I'm saying. And when I say stop, I mean stop. When I say come here, I mean come here. And when I say stop swinging or stop sliding, it means to come here. So that you control the situation at the playground, just like with your dogs at the park, or at the dog park. All right, so I hope this made sense to you, and I hope this is very clear. Once I stop this broadcast, I will in the comment section put the link to Dog Park Etiquette, so you can go in there and see what it's all about, and possibly take that course if you want to. It's very short. I think it's only priced at $7.99 or $9.99 or something like that. So it's very affordable, and I think it's worth it to really have a good experience, even when you get there and maybe the dogs and people that are there that you don't feel comfortable with are there. You can still use it, not necessarily go into the dog park, but be on the outer perimeter of the dog park, and there's some tips for doing that too. All right, so I hope that was helpful. That is one of the most common questions we are asked is about a dog park, and that is some of my feelings personally on the dog park. All right, hope that helps, and I will talk to you later. All right, take care. Bye.